This week in the Complaint Corner, Star Wars, Netflix, and some other shit. This is Critically Complained. Hi, I'm Adam, and this is Steve. And first, we're talking Star Wars. So, last week sometime, I want to say officially, but technically it wasn't, there was a very well sourced report saying that there is going to be a Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film made by Disney and Lucasfilm, and it's going to be directed by Stephen Daldry, who is a pretty well known in the British acting circles. He's been in a lot of plays. He's directed a few plays, and he's directed a handful of movies. I think like one or two. But he's an older guy, and he's very experienced in storytelling and making movies and plays and whatnot. So he seems like a pretty good choice. But whatever, that's, who cares about the director? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars film. Oh my God, I'm so excited. How do you feel about this, Steve?
Well, I think it's important to note that of all of the side characters that we could have possibly gotten spin-off movies about, this is the least offensive one.
Absolutely.
I'm fine with an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, especially if it's old man Obi-Wan Kenobi, because I'd like to know what he was up to in the time before he got or he saved Luke from the
Yeah.
Sandman that one
Yeah.
time. So I'm sure he did
Yeah.
something in between there, between
Yeah, there's
toppling
20
the Empire.
years. There's 20 years between episodes 3 and episodes 4. Well, okay, a little bit less, but about 20 years between episodes 3 and 4. And he must have done something during that time. Like, there's so much
I mean, it's
potential there.
possible he just, sat down in his Adirondack chair in front of his sand hut and just chilled, but I
Well,
don't
see,
think so.
that's the thing, is I'm imagining something like akin to Logan, like a kind of like a low stakes character focused movie that's like all of like because he can't be all Jedi-y because he's undercover basically. He can't let anyone know that he's alive. He's staying on the down low for all this time to
Unless there are
protect.
no witnesses.
Well, yeah. But he's staying on the down low all this time to protect Luke so that someday Luke can like save the universe or whatever.
Okay, all right,
So
hang on. Here's a scene I think is playing out in my head right now. I don't think they're gonna do it, but if it's done a specific way, they might do this. So it's gonna be old man Uncle Ben, right? And he's gonna be walking around the local bazaar or whatever, shopping for, I don't know, robot parts or bread or whatever you buy in a desert
Sure.
planet. And
Yeah.
like a little kid's gonna run by and bounce into him or something. He's gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, sir." It's gonna run off, and that's gonna be baby Luke, and it's gonna be like, "Oh, we know and he knows, but the kid doesn't know." And it's like,
Yep.
"Ah, look at that." So
Yep,
we're gonna look. We
that
can look
makes
forward
sense
to
to me.
that scene.
I could totally. I think that if they are going
Drink
to
your
make a
blue
film,
milk.
if they are going to make a film during that time, I can guarantee we're going to see a young Luke. Like, even if it's just like a baby, like a toddler, like we're gonna see young Luke. There's no way we're not, which I'm fine with. Like, I'd prefer.
I was
if it
picturing
was
him as like Anakin's age when in the first in
I would,
episode
yeah,
1. That's how I
think
figured
that would
him.
be better. The problem there is that then you have to cast a reasonably good actor. Like, if you just have like a toddler just walking around,
Well, he doesn't have to say anything important. You just bounce into him, and then
I
Aunt
guess.
whatever the hell her name was could show Uncle Ben and Aunt whatever can be like,
Beru.
"Oh, don't bump into strangers, you dick," and then he'll be like, "Oh, sorry, Mister," and then they'll just walk off to buy an android or something, and he'll just
Yeah.
continue on whatever
See,
he was doing.
there's so much you can do with this. I would love it if that's where they were gonna go with it. Like, have a film that's like this character introspection, all about Obi-Wan trying to protect Luke while at the same time be keeping on the down low, not letting Luke know what's going on, and not letting anyone know that he's a Jedi, but at the same time trying to be a good person and fight the good fight and protect the innocent. Like, there's so
And
much you
then,
can.
and then for the climax, he goes to visit Yoga in exile, and he goes to the Forest of Illusion, where he fights Darth Maul, who killed his mentor, and he has to beat him to the death. It'll be amazing. And then he has to fight Grievous because he almost died to Grievous as well. Oh, triple
Actually,
fight way.
if I want to tell you something, he actually fought Darth Maul on Tatooine during that time period. We already saw it in Star Wars Rebels. Darth Maul showed up, he tracked down Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they fought to the death, and Darth Maul died.
Oh.
So they're probably not going to go in that specific direction. But
Well,
actually,
they might, because I didn't know that happened, and I'd like to
yeah,
see
I
that
know.
on a movie.
Well, I mean, it would be
Who cares about
awesome.
Star Wars Rebels and their ridiculous claymation brick heads?
Hey, whoa! Star Wars Rebels is great, but the animation is a bit wonky. But it's a good show. It's really good. I'm in the middle of the second season right now. It's freaking phenomenal. It's so good. I can't even. I'm amazed at how good that show is. It's better than the Clone Wars, in my personal opinion.
Like
Like
the show or the
the
movie?
show, the show, the Clone Wars,
Okay,
which
because I didn't see
is
that either. I just
it's like a
know that.
sequel to it. It's like a lot of like Ahsoka shows up in Rebels, and
Oh, okay.
she's like the main character.
I don't
And
know anything about it. I never saw it. I just know there's a bunch of stormtroopers or clone troopers or whatever, and they all have the same head, but they're like different in the show, and they got like Hasbro head people from Star Wars. And
I would strongly recommend watching it
I'm not
sometime.
gonna.
It's really good.
I'm not
But
gonna.
all right, fine, be lame.
I'm
Um,
not. I don't care enough about Star Wars to see things outside of the movies of Star Wars, and I don't even like all the movies of Star Wars, so I don't have any interest in going and seeing that.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna be honest, Adam.
I respect that. I don't. I'm the exact opposite. I've drowned myself in
If you
all of
need to
my.
jump into a big pile of Star Wars content like Scrooge McDuck into his coin vault, that's fine. I don't need to though. I don't share that.
That's
I don't
fine.
share that addiction.
All right. So, where else was I going with that? Obi-Wan Kenobi solo movie. I want it to be like Logan. I want it to be amazing. Oh, one other thing. They haven't confirmed this yet, but it needs to be Ewan McGregor. Can we all agree to that?
I'll agree to
Like,
that.
if it's anyone else, I won't like it.
we
Like,
don't need a third guy playing Obi-Wan
he's
Kenobi.
the perfect age to play an older, Ben Kenobi. He's perfect. I need this in my life. If it's anybody else, if they recast him, I'll never forgive them. Ever.
And you'll
Like,
never
like,
partake in another piece of Star Wars content again except for the next one.
No, that's not true. That's not even. I'm not even gonna pretend, Steve. No, they have me by the balls. It's over for me, Steve.
Save yourself, everybody. Well, I think we can all agree that that we need our proper Obi-Wan Kenobi back, and that it'll be far better than the
The
Han
prequels.
Solo movie nobody asked for.
Oh, speaking of that, actually, no, we're not talking about it. But yeah, that
We
Han
can.
Solo movie. Oh,
I
fuck
mean,
that Han Solo movie. No,
is
let's
that all we
just
have to
leave
say
it.
about it? Just
Let's just
fuck.
leave it at fuck the Han Solo movie. Like we don't need to go into any more detail.
I can get behind that.
Oh my god. Oh,
You
such
made a
stupid idea.
mistake, LucasArts,
Yeah, you
Films,
don't
whoever
need
was in charge
this.
of that.
No one needs this. I don't. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I don't need this. I would be okay with a Han Solo comic book. That's like gonna tell me the plot of the movie, like his origin. I could see that in a comic book.
Yeah, he
or a
crashes
book.
into Earth with Chewie and the Millennium Falcon. He dies. Indiana Jones later discovers him, and Chewie is the
Exactly.
abominable snowman or whatever.
It's perfect. Yeah, exactly, just like
Boom.
that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next thing, which is that Disney will be taking its films off of Netflix and starting their own streaming service.
Eat a dick, Disney.
Okay, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is, Steve?
Regards
This is
to what?
Disney. This is Disney trying to weaken Netflix so that they can then buy Netflix. That's what they're doing.
You
I
think so?
guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Well,
Because
okay, if you're right, they're not. That's not going to work.
probably not.
People, okay, I've seen a few Disney things on Netflix. I've revisited that a couple times, but Disney has kind of shot themselves in the foot if that's the plan, because they had such a stranglehold on all of their content that I don't care if I don't get to watch Mulan 2 again, because that was the only shit that was on Netflix. None
Okay,
of the stuff
not
you
anymore.
wanted was there.
No, that's not true anymore. All of their newer films are all getting released on Netflix.
Okay, that's great, but again, the
frickin-
stuff that the nostalgia millennial people who are
I mean,
paying
yeah,
for this shit to, well, I'm not paying for it, but somebody's paying for it.
yeah, fine,
Someone
whatever.
who's gonna watch that shit, they're there for like the give me my Tarzan 1, which admittedly is there, but where's my
Yeah.
Hercules, or where's my Lion King, or that kind of shit. I don't want this. I don't want the sequels. I don't want the spin-offs. Just want
You
the
don't want
original.
you don't want the live action remakes?
No, I really don't. To be fair,
No, I get
the
that.
Beauty and the Beast was okay, I guess, but
I don't. I see. I get what you're saying, but I think that that's just your perception. I think a lot of people, like, I know I watched Civil War on Netflix. I
yeah,
watched Doctor Strange. I
yeah.
watched Rogue One on Netflix. I watched all these things.
Oh, you know what? I forgot that they own those things. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. That's
Well,
more of an impact than I thought.
it's actually a pretty big deal. This is not just animated films. These are a lot of different movies, and this actually ties in directly into our next news topic. But I'm just gonna do it all at once. Disney is also apparently considering having a separate Marvel and Star Wars streaming services. So, like, one of each. So they'd have three. They'd have one for all their animation, one for all their Star Wars, and one for all their Marvel.
Dick move.
That is
Dick
such
move.
a fucking shit idea. I can't even stand it.
Dick
That
move.
is
Dick
so
move.
stupid, Disney. Don't do that. You should keep it simple.
Like,
You need to keep it simple. If you want to make a Star Wars streaming service and you can do that, I can sort of see your. If anyone's going to be able to get away with making their own streaming service, it's Disney. They own so
yeah,
many
I mean,
things.
they're kind of in the position of like Nintendo is, because Nintendo doesn't have to give a shit about what the other people are doing, and really
Yeah.
Disney doesn't either, because Disney has kept a rein on all of their stuff. That if you want it, you have to go to them for it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for us, everybody wants their stuff. They
But
got the goods,
if
so
they're going to do that, and they can, I'm not
they
too
can.
upset
People will pay
about
for
them
it.
making. I'm not too upset about them making their own streaming service, but don't make three. That's just insulting. No, make one.
Like, okay,
I just
imagine if other like content providers broke shit up into thirds, so you
yeah,
had to buy
yeah.
it. Like,
Like
ah,
Netflix decided to break things up into, like, okay, here are all our Defender shows. Here are a few other originals.
oh
Here
yeah,
are
I
all
was
of
actually gonna say, like, if it was like movies, TV shows, and Netflix originals, you know.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Like, that's just such a shit idea. Like, I can't. No, stop it. If the way that the streaming services need to do, the way that they need to move forward, they need to make things as convenient as possible. Simple, easy to understand, and really, really convenient. Because that way, people like me, like, I don't want to go on some crappy, like, illegal streaming site and try to play Star Wars Rebels that constantly needs to buffer. I'm not saying I've ever done that, but I'm just saying as a hypothetical. I don't want to do that. I'd rather fork out, like, $5 or $6 a month and be able to stream Star Wars Rebels directly into my PlayStation 4 and just watch it right there, so I don't have to deal with all of the annoying ads that I theoretically have seen but not actually.
You can't pin nothing on me, Copper.
You got me.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you on that. Like, I mean, it's. Do you remember when Amazon tried to pull that shit and they got laughed out of the room because,
Yeah.
fuck you, Amazon?
Yeah, I do. It's stupid. This whole thing is stupid. I can, and I still say the same thing. I still think that they're doing this to weaken the streaming market. Basically, they're trying to lower the tide, and so that they can scoop up some more of it. They want to scoop Netflix, maybe something
All
else,
right,
but Netflix is
but
the thing that they want.
okay, now counterpoint. If they are trying to do that, I maintain that they're doing it all wrong, because if they wanted to do that, what they should be doing is making a simpler streaming service, not gouging you for three of them. If they
I mean,
really did want to
okay.
steal customers, they should make a better alternative, not a hijack all of the content and say pay up or die. Like,
Yeah. No,
that's
but I should
I
say
guess
that
I guess they're going bigger going home,
they
but still.
aren't making that. We don't know for sure if they're making three streaming services. They've only announced one streaming service, but there have been reports that they might do like the other two, the Star Wars and Marvel
Right, but
ones.
if it smells like more money, then they're gonna try.
Yeah, I mean, they are. Of course they are. That's corporate America. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
If
Uh,
somebody's willing to pay for it, they'll be. I mean, we're not gonna stop you from paying for it. Sure, we'll charge you for
yeah.
three. That's fine with us.
And I guess the in a way, I mean, the idea being, like, if you buy all three, you're paying more money in the long run. But if like me, if I was only interested in Marvel and Star Wars, which is probably what I'm more interested, I don't really care about the animated stuff. I could just buy those two, and that might actually be less money total than having one big lump streaming.
Well,
So
it does kind of Yeah, that's kind of the
Like,
thing. It,
would
it
I
depends on
rather
what they
have
charge. It depends on what
would
they
I
charge
rather
for these.
yeah, it's all about how much money it costs. Like, would I rather have one $15 a month streaming service that covers everything, or would I want to be able to pick and choose and be like, okay, I want one $5 a month Star Wars one and one Marvel one, and then that's only $10 instead of 15 for the whole package. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
No,
I don't
that's
know.
true, but you're also limiting your product this way because
I mean,
how
yeah.
many Star Wars things or Marvel things actually exist? Granted, there's a lot of Marvel movies, but like,
Yeah,
once
that's
you've
another
gotten through
thing
them, it's like, all
is
right,
I
well, what now?
that's another thing that I think that they're not really taking into account is that there isn't that much. Like with Marvel, you've got like what, almost 20 movies? That's nothing like on a streaming
Yeah, if
service.
you're gonna make me
20
continue to
movies?
pay, then
Like that's nothing.
might as well just
Like
buy
you
a
need
box set then.
if you're gonna do something like that, you need to freaking have like a lot of shows. You gotta have like Agents of Shield, all the Defenders shows. You need to have like the Runaways and that Hulu one,
All
whatever
those
the hell.
yeah, all the Vixen.
No, that's
That
that's
was
the
the Hulu.
different one.
That was the
That's
Hulu one,
Hulu.
wasn't it?
That's yeah. That's a
Oh,
no.
that's
But
DC.
Vixen
That's
is
DC. My bad. My
yeah.
bad.
It's DC.
I was thinking of Hulu shows. I know. I've
But
never
like you
had
need to
Hulu before.
have all of your Marvel shit in one place, and even then, that's only like what 6 shows and like 20 movies. I'm not gonna pay $5 a month for 6 shows and 20 movies.
No.
You can fuck right off with that
Even
shit.
if they threw in all of those terrible Marvel animated shows because Marvel can't make an animated show to save its life,
No, they
that
really
that still
can't.
wouldn't be worth it.
Unless it's Spider-Man, in which case they can make a few really good Spider-Man shows,
All right,
and
that's
then they
fair.
keep and then reboot it,
Yeah,
and then
well
reboot it again.
they've made like an infinity billion versions of the Avengers in cartoon form, and they're not. There's no continuity between any of those. It's always just like
Yeah,
here it is again with a couple different members maybe because we couldn't get the
yeah.
rights to the same
Look at
guys
the
again or whatever.
look at the animation style is shittier. Like,
Basically,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just
Look, it's more like anime this time. You like
and
anime, right? Please give us money.
and actually Marvel is one thing, but Star Wars, it's literally like 8 films and
Yep.
2 TV shows.
Yep.
Like, what fucking universe are you in where you can get away with having a streaming service for
One far,
eight
far away.
films and 2 TV shows? No, not a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's not. It's here. It's now, and it's not happening. You cannot do that. I just hate it. And like, unless maybe they could like somehow include like a subscription to all of Marvel or all of Star Wars like books and all of their comic books, I would jump on that shit. But like, I don't know if anyone
Okay,
else
all right.
would.
I can solve all this right now. Okay, it's really simple. First of all, don't make separate ones for all of the different products. That's just an asinine thing to do. Don't even consider it. You look silly for doing that. Put the stupid helmet on. Second of all, don't make your own streaming service. Just let Netflix run your shit and rake in the sweet, sweet syndication bucks, and everybody wins. You're already more powerful than Jesus. Just soak up your Disney money and the monopolies you have almost everywhere, and enjoy your Star Wars and Marvel money to boot because you need those things. And then you're good. You're set for life, dude. What do you need your own streaming service
I agree.
for? like,
I agree, man.
I mean, obviously, the frozen brain of Walt Disney underneath the Disney castle or something has like a aneurysm or something because he's giving out some silly ideas right now.
No,
I mean,
it's really dumb, and I don't
seems
like
obvious
it.
to me.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next thing, which is DC. We got a lot of DC news. The first one's pretty easy. It's pretty cool. So Shazam is going to be the next DCEU film. That's
I like
the
Shazam.
That's the DC extended universe, and it's going to start production in 2018 and going to be released in like probably like early to mid 2019. So that means that for the DC films, obviously up next is Justice League. That's coming out in like 2 months. And then almost a little bit after, like a full year from that, in like I think it's December or November of the next year, we're gonna get Aquaman. And then the next year, like I don't know, like 6 months later ish, we're gonna get Shazam. And other than that, we don't know what's gonna come next. But there's a lot of other things in the works, and we're gonna get to that. Don't worry.
I like Shazam.
But for now, let's just talk about the Shazam movie. I also like Shazam. I like
Well,
Shazam.
all right. I like old Shazam. I don't like modern iterations of Shazam, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I like Shazam. He's an interesting character. Like it's a weird dynamic to have a superhero who is like a child in like an adult's body,
Hmm.
but only like that. That's kind of a neat idea. I kind of like. It's like Big, that movie with Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
but it's superhero themed, uh, and I kind of like that. That's
And
neat.
before in old Shazams, it was like, a child's innocence in a do-gooder attitude in a superhero body. Now it's a child's assholey, uncontrollable dick nature in an adult superhero body.
Yeah,
And I don't care for that.
I
New
do
Billy
hope
Batson is a
they
tool.
I do hope that they go for more of like the classic stuff where the I like the idea that Billy Batson didn't get the Shazam power because he was there. He got it because he deserved it. Like I like the idea that he's just a really good person, and so like the gods or whatever decided to gift him
Well,
with
the
this
wizard.
power or whatever. I don't care. I don't know the details, but I think that that's a cool idea. I don't like the idea of it's just like, well, he's the only one here, so here you go, kid.
Whatever. Check it out. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going home. Just I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of Shazam being a bad person. Like he should be a really good person. And I'm really interested to see how they're going to introduce Shazam into the greater DC universe. Like
Not
the one that
smoothly, I'd imagine.
probably not, given everything we've seen in this. If there's one word to describe this universe, it is not smooth. Like it is definitely not smooth. It's rough. It's very uneven.
Course.
Uh,
Well, I
oh
mean, it
man.
is. It's just it makes you feel awkward.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they're finally starting to turn it around, like specifically with Wonder Woman, where like
Yeah, thank God. Thank God
really
Wonder Woman was
made.
actually good.
Yeah, oh my god, it's so nice to know that. But like, okay, you made a good film. That's great. But like it still took way too long to get to this point. Like there's still so much weirdness going on with this universe. And you know what? I'm just going to tie it right in. This ties right into our next bit of news, and I'm going to do them both at the same time. So, first of all, they're making a Joker standalone film. And this Joker standalone film will not be a part of the DCEU. It will be a part of its own separate continuity. It will
Sorry,
be
hang
a
on, Adam. Roll that back and say it one more time. I
yeah.
think it's really important
Let
we
me
all
say
hear
that
that
again.
again.
So Warner Brothers will be making a Joker origin film that is a standalone, completely isolated film. It is not a part of any greater universe. It's not a part of the universe that they spent the last like 5 years building. It is
Building.
instead, yeah, building. I put quotations around that. It is instead a separate, completely isolated, standalone film. It's just there.
It just exists.
Also, before we talk about that, they are also making a Joker and Harley Quinn movie that will be set in the universe. So it will star Jared Leto and Margot Robbie in the two roles. Um Wow, is this a fucking bad idea? Okay, Steve and I were joking about this earlier, but I'm fairly certain that the people behind the scenes at Warner Brothers are those guys in the simulation in Rick and Morty. Just anytime anyone presents them with an idea, they're just like, yes, yes. Like, hey guys, I got this idea. I want to make a Joker origin film. Yes. Okay, I'm glad you like it. It's going to be a part of its own separate continuity. Yes. Oh wow, great, thanks. Like I'm so glad you're into it. I was kind of throwing around the idea. What if he also made a Joker and Harley Quinn movie that is a part of the universe? Yes. No, what? Like at this point, I feel like the
It's
intern that's coming up with these ideas is just testing to see
oh,
how
you just see
far
what
he
he can
can
get away
take it.
with now. Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Then after
What
realizing
is
that
this?
reality
What the
was a lie
fuck?
and he wasn't real, he stuck his head into a bowl of cocaine and then blew his own brains out. Like
Exactly.
it's just like
I,
there can't be conscious human thought behind this decision making. Like who would do this? Who would
I
make these decisions and
I
feel right
just
about
don't
it?
get it.
Like I
Okay, so let's talk about each. Let's talk
okay,
about each
let's start
separately.
with the
Let's
standalone one.
let's start with the standalone film.
I
So
don't want
first
it.
of all, in my opinion, the Joker is one of the few characters where I don't want to know his origins. He is a better character when he is mysterious, in my opinion.
In
I
everyone's
don't.
opinion, you shouldn't want to know about the
Yeah,
Joker.
in most people's opinions. I don't want to know about Joker's origin. I don't want to know how he became the Joker. He just is. He's like that's all I need to know. I don't need any more information. So to have an entire film that's centered around that feels like a mistake.
No, no,
Secondly,
no. It
to
doesn't
have
feel
an
like
entire
one because it is a mistake. It's provable with science in science experiments by scientists that that's a stupid idea, and they shouldn't do that.
also to have a Joker origin film that is
Batman.
not a part of the universe that you've been so carefully, I put quotations around that,
Yeah.
building for the past 5 years feels like a double mistake. Not feels like, it is a double mistake. There is no reason to do that. What was the point of building this universe? Why did you even bother? If you're just going to make one-off films
Yeah.
anyway,
What are you
why
wasting
don't
the resources on this standalone thing for?
why don't you just go back to the way things used to be, where you could just have a Batman movie, a Batman sequel, a Superman movie, a Superman sequel, maybe throw in a Wonder Woman movie, a Green Lantern movie, and have them all be separate? If you're just gonna do it anyway, why did you bother to create this universe? Oh wait, could it be because Marvel did it first? Could that be the reason why? Are you just following in the coattails of a more successful company? I just excuse me. I just can't understand the logic behind this. I just don't understand. There's no way I can view this as a good idea. Like, I just can't. This
No,
is
I
stupid.
can't even play devil's advocate for this because any excuse that you could come up with to validate this would immediately qualify you for culling from the human population.
See,
Because
at
your
the
mind
very
is clearly deviant and must be purged.
to tie this back into the previous discussion topic, I could understand why Disney would want to make its own streaming service. They want more money. They can actually get away with it
Oh
because they
yeah,
have so much
from like
content.
a cynical, dirty business point of view, it totally makes
Yeah,
sense.
but this makes no sense.
No, it
This is
doesn't.
all it does. All it is confusing. It's confusing to like people who aren't like us who read all this stuff and pay attention. And it's even more confusing that you're going to not only be making this film that's separate from your universe, but at the same time, you're going to be making a different film also starring the Joker in that same universe. Like, what the fuck? Why would you do that, both of those things at the same time? There's no reason to do that. It's so confusing. I think about people like my parents who, like, I can barely, like, half the time they're just like, wait, so is this Marvel or DC? Like
Yep,
they
yep,
can't even keep
yep.
that straight. To have different separate universes all coming from the same company. I mean, shit, it's confusing enough to have X-Men not be a part of the Marvel universe. And it was really confusing when they rebooted Spider-Man for the second time to have him be a part of the Marvel universe instead of being in its own weird separate universe. That was confusing. But to have two different universes, two different continuities coming from the same company, starring the same character at the same time, makes no sense.
No,
There's
I'm
zero reason. I get
Adam. You
really
seem
mad
worked
about
up.
this one.
You want to take a breath?
Oh,
I mean, it's okay.
I just
Okay, you know that episode of SpongeBob where Patrick nails a board to his forehead and he's just sitting in the lawn with a hammer? That's are,
yeah, I
okay.
remember that.
That's
Yeah, I've
that's
seen it.
DC because
I've seen it.
DC thought to themselves. They sat down in their board meeting with what I imagine to be purporting to be anyway very professional, well business versed people, and they said to themselves, "Hey, let's take some resources from this universe that we've been, spit gluing together, rushedly and hurriedly and demonstrously bad, and let's devote some money, a couple mil or whatever, to this other movie, not in the continuity. But wait, there's more. It gets better. Let's double down and make it a Joker movie." Because we need a Joker origin story for not our Joker. And then, let's triple down and make it fall next to another Joker movie in continuity at the same time, because fuck the viewing audience, they'll go and see it anyway, those lemmings. That was the conversation they must have had.
Yes, like there are people, a group of people sitting in a boardroom who had the discussion similar to the one we're having with less swearing, who
maybe,
agreed.
maybe
And they thought, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Like sure, that sounds good. We'll
somebody
make a
had to.
ton of money
That's
off of it.
that's really where it's most upsetting. Somebody somewhere along the line had to green light this project, and nobody in the checks and balances system, the people who pay the bills, the people who have to review this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
any of those people could have raised their hand and said, "I don't think we should do this," and nobody did, and nobody did. Everyone's just like, "Yeah, that sounds good to me. I can't see a single reason why that wouldn't be a success." Absolutely flabbergasting.
I
Just
know, I completely agree.
what?
Um
Wow.
so we're going to move on. Okay, actually, wait, before we completely move on, really quick, Joker and Harley Quinn. Like, let's ignore the
Yeah,
standalone
fuck that
film.
movie too. While we're at it, actually.
Let's like, yeah, Joker and Harley Quinn film. What the fuck is the point of that? We already basically got that in Suicide Squad. Well, kind of. We kind of got that in Suicide Squad. We got like 20 minutes of that in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, which was unwelcome there as it would be in a full-length feature film. Also, Suicide Squad sucks donkey dick, and I don't need more of it, thank you very much. And Jared Leto's the worst part of that movie, so why even?
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, a Joker and a Harley Quinn movie? Why? I don't need that. What the fuck is the point of that? Like, I don't, like, we already have Suicide Squad. We already have these characters established in the universe, for better or for worse. What the fuck is the point? Is it just to, like, make up for Suicide Squad? Be like, hey, no, we can do better than that.
Well, you're already starting at the bottom of the hill because you picked the two worst things to do it about. Fine, Harley Quinn was okay, but Jared Leto like drowned her in shit. Like, is this just so we have more of her and Daisy Dukes or something? Is that what we need? Like a whole feature film of sex appeal? Is that what the goal of this is?
Is that the point of this? I don't get it. I don't understand what the point of even that film is. I could maybe get over that if, like, maybe they had, like, a really good idea for a story.
But they don't.
Sorry,
I guarantee it.
I couldn't say that without laughing at the end.
I know.
Like I could, but like that one wouldn't upset me too much. I would just be like, that seems unnecessary, but whatever. But to have
just
it be
do Justice League. Just do Justice League and then quietly go away.
Okay, so we can both agree that this is the worst idea anyone's ever come up. I think this is worse than the Venom movie. I think this is worse than the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. Like, this is to have two Joker movies being made at the same time is like bottom of the rung. This is quite literally the worst idea I can remember anybody having, like, when it comes to all this stuff. Like, you know, when it comes to movies and stuff, I can't think of a worse idea.
You know what? Okay, I'm instituting a new policy right now on the show. Very first episode, I'm introducing a new thing.
Okay.
From now on, we're going to hand out the Moronic Idea Ambassador Award, and this gets it. In perpetuity until something stupider comes out.
Moronic Idea Ambassador. I like that. That's good. So
this
is the crowning jewel of bad idea. I would say that if we had done this before, the previous crowning jewel would be maybe the Han Solo film. I'm thinking of the Han Solo movie.
Maybe. But the important part is we found our actual ambassador.
Yep.
Maybe we'll come up with a more creative name than that, but that's the point. So, as far as this show is concerned, that is the dumbest thing anybody in the entertainment industry has ever said about anything as of right now. As of this moment.
Okay.
As of 8/29/2017, that's the dumbest thing ever said.
Okay, I agree with that. So, now we got one last bit of news, and that is that Nintendo is shutting down Mii-verse, which seemingly you're just like, oh, whatever, that doesn't really matter. But it actually is kind of a big deal because there are a lot of games in the Nintendo family that rely on Mii-verse for a few different things. First of all, there's Splatoon, which in the hub world, they have all of those fun little, like, you know, people saying crap, you know, like they have the memes and they have the jokes and they have whatever. And that's going to be gone now. So the hub world of Splatoon is apparently now just going to be really, really boring. Secondly, Super Smash Bros. Has a Mii-verse stage that's like posts, like it's basically the same thing, which is all of those little, like, you know, jokes and whatever that people post on Mii-verse. That's going to be gone. So the stage is going to be there, but it's just going to be empty. It's just going to be a stage that has like a green background now. Great, cool. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I definitely want to play on that stage.
Well, I mean, they probably will just fill it with pre-made ones. Like people who have to play online wouldn't have access to that, so it would probably just do whatever they fill it in
I
with when
guess.
those people do it.
Actually, that's
But it
another
doesn't
thing.
matter because PictoChat's a way cooler level anyway, so whatever.
That's another thing actually. Super Smash Bros. You no longer will be able to hold online tournaments because that was directly linked to Mii-verse. And so now you can play online, I think. I think you can still play online, but you won't be able to do tournaments. And like the online will be like significantly neutered. Another thing is what was it? There's something else. Oh, Mario Maker. You won't be able to share levels anymore. Super
Oh,
Mario Maker,
yeah.
you could still make levels, but you won't be able to share them with other people on Miiverse, which is the whole point of the fucking game.
Yeah,
And
it is, actually.
yeah, it is. There's a lot of things here that like it's just like, wait a second, hold the fuck on. That's a really bad. Why are you shutting this down? What I would do in their play, I would like severely limit it. I would just keep it around for the games that need it, but just have like start to phase it out, in the future. Like when other people are making games at Nintendo, just be like, okay, no more Miiverse stuff. Just don't even bother. I'm sure the developers would be like, yeah, fine, that's no problem at all. We didn't want to have to do that anyway. So like I feel like that's what they should have done. They should just phase it out and then have it go away naturally. They shouldn't do it right now. All these games are basically fucked now. I'm kind of upset about this. Like that's
It doesn't
not.
show, Adam.
I'm kind of like I don't even play those games very much. Like I play Smash Bros and I play what was the other one? The first. Oh, I play Splatoon, but like it's not like that stuff was super important to me, but like freaking Mario Maker. I don't even play Mario Maker and I'm upset for the people who care about Mario Maker because that's really shitty. Like you made the game completely useless now. Like now you can just make levels and share them with your friends on the same TV. Be like, "Hey, buddy, come over, check out this level I
Well,
made."
hey, now they've finally joined the ranks of modern gaming. Now they've taken an online-only experience and they've shut down the server that keeps it up, and now no one gets to play it anymore. Now they've basically just joined the ranks of what the rest of people were doing.
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay! That's one thing I've always said about Nintendo. I want them to be just like everyone else. That was sarcasm.
Thanks, Adam.
No, I don't. I love Nintendo and I love how weird they are. And this is a stupid idea. So I don't really have anything else to say about this. I'm upset about it, and I think it's a mistake to do this so quickly.
Up your game, Nintendo.
You should take time and phase it out over like a year or two. Like you shouldn't just do it like that.
It's
Like
still not the dumbest thing ever said, though.
how much money are they losing on this? Like how like
Mii-verse? I don't
no,
think any.
no, but that's exactly my point. What's the point of shutting it down? Like
So people
why?
can't
Why
say
bother?
rude things in Splatoon chats anymore?
Who cares?
Well, Nintendo cares a lot.
Oh God, they're so PC.
Yes,
It's
they're
annoying.
such prudes. They won't even let you draw anuses on your chalk bubbles.
God damn it, no!
I mean,
How could you do
that's
this?
gotta be the real reason. That's why they do any of that kind of stuff, is because people were, not living up to the family-friendly sort of, mindset they had for these things, which, I can definitely appreciate, because those games are for everybody. Nintendo's good at making stuff for
Yeah.
everyone, and you
I
don't have
guess
to ruin it and be a dick about it, because
was
there's
their
kids
thought,
in the lobby, man. But, I'm not that upset about it,
yeah,
I guess.
I suppose that's a good point. Is that they've always catered to children, and a lot of the Miiverse stuff wasn't for kids.
Yeah.
So
That being said, you don't have to shut
yeah.
down all of Miiverse. You could just turn off the posts in the lobby or something.
Yeah,
But
right. Why don't they
whatever.
just get rid of
Just
that
whatever.
aspect?
I don't know. Maybe they're wielding a cleaver instead of a scalpel. I don't know. Who cares? The point is that they're doing it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it probably dicks a lot of folks over, or at least inconveniences them moderately. And it's ultimately Nintendo's call because they hold all the purse strings and they got the monies, and well, we're just gonna have to learn to live with that, I guess.
I guess you're right. All right, so that is it for all of our news this week. So now we're going to do random encounters. And since this is the first time we've done this, since this is our first show, I'll explain what that is. Random encounters is where we pit two randomly kind of selected characters in a randomly selected situation and like encounter or contest, and we see who would win. Like who would win
Based
if
entirely on our objective opinions and
yes,
not on
like
any empirical evidence or facts.
this is not empirical evidence. We don't do research. This is just us having fun conversations and saying, who do we think would win in a eating contest between Cloud Strife and Link? Like, it's just random shit and it's fun.
Probably Link, since I've seen him down a whole lot of healing items. But
yeah, probably Link.
That's not the point. Okay. So how this is going to have to work is I have a random little baggie here of all the names of characters I've made. So I'm going to randomly pick one, and Adam's going to pick one relating somehow to something we talked about in the show. And then I'm going to pick a situation.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
Kenobi. Call it right. Just going to say it. Because he's my man.
Okay.
I love Obi-Wan.
Well, I pulled out Harry Potter. So let's see what
Harry
Obi-Wan...
Potter.
Well, I assume you mean old man Obi-Wan Kenobi, yeah? Ben Kenobi, then?
I suppose. Yeah, let's say Ben Kenobi. So he's a bit older, but he still has a lightsaber, and he has force powers and everything. He's just a bit older, so, okay.
Okay. The contest, quote-unquote, is who's most overpowered. I'm going to go with probably Harry Potter.
Probably Harry Potter. I mean, theoretically speaking, the magic can do anything as long as you know the right spell, and people can invent spells. Like, it's not like that's impossible. And with Obi-Wan, especially old man Obi-Wan, he's kind of limited. I mean, yes, Jedi are extremely powerful, but I wouldn't say they're more powerful than a wizard, especially a wizard as skilled as Harry Potter.
Well, that's just it, though. Harry's not all that skilled of a wizard. He kind of bum lucks Mary Sue's his way through most of his problems, or he has Hermione do it for him.
That's fair, actually.
Although, the most badass thing Ben Kenobi ever did was die like a punk bitch and come back as ghosts. So... that doesn't ultimately win you the contest.
To be fair, the most badass thing that Harry Potter ever did was die like a punk bitch and get resurrected.
That's true. They both did do that. The difference being, I guess, that Obi-Wan came back as a Force ghost, and Harry Potter came back as Harry Potter again, just not a Horcrux anymore.
Same person now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still gonna go with Harry Potter.
Probably.
I feel like the magic in the
he's
Harry
the
Potter
one.
universe. Yeah, well, not only that, but like magic is, in my opinion, much more powerful than the Force because you can do a lot more with it, and it's also a lot more structured than the Force because magic is not tied directly to your emotions. So like,
and it has
there's
rules, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, there are rules, and like, there's no like dark side of magic. I mean, there are bad people.
Sure, there is.
It's not like. Yeah, not really, though. It's not like if you use one of the unforgivable curses, you're going to go down a dark spiral of hate and misery.
Well, I mean, if you kill a guy and split your soul and put it in a snake and a locket in a cup and a shit, then that kind of counts.
I suppose that's true. You
don't get to shoot lightning out of your fingers.
The Horcruxes are kind of like that. That's, yeah. So there. Anyway,
yeah. Well, ultimately overpowered because he can't die because he's a Horcrux. So let's call that what it is.
Actually, now that I think about it, Voldemort and Palpatine are actually very similar in a lot of ways.
They are really similar. I guess both fantasy people and sci-fi people like to represent their bad guys as wrinkly old men. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I guess so.
Okay. Oh my God.
I'm gonna pick
Star Wars
one.
Harry Potter simultaneous universe crossover edition?
No, never. No.
Okay.
Do not cross the stream, Steve. That's a bad idea. We don't want to go there. Nope.
Nah, we don't want to go there. All right.
We already saw how one Harry Potter spin-off turned out. We don't need any more.
True.
It's still, I think, our worst reviewed movie to date. So that's fun. We're Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Don't watch it. I don't like it. Anyway.
Okay then.
Next I would pick Shazam, but I don't really want to do that. But considering what we were talking about before and how animated we got about it, I'm gonna go with Joker. But I have to decide which Joker. God, I hate myself. I'm gonna say Jared Leto's Joker. Are you talking to me? Oh, aren't you just a hunka? Oh, hardly.
Ew. Stop talking, Adam. All right.
I've got.
Stop talking. Stop saying those words, Adam. Don't bring that trash in my house. All right. Well, I got Ichigo, like the dude from Bleach.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
I hope you murder Jared Leto.
You gonna throw the game? Okay, well this is dumb. It's a race around the world. So, for all his
Okay.
faults, especially the Jared Leto one, he is human, and
Yep.
thus does not go very fast. Ichigo is an anime character, giving him blatant advantage in running and all physical activity. Also, he's the protagonist of an anime. Also, he's the protagonist of an action anime. So that was pretty clear cut.
Okay,
Like,
well,
there's
if you
no
want,
contest.
all right, yeah, no, you definitely win. I
I
mean,
mean,
you also have superpowers. Joker does not, other than just being really annoying.
from what I can tell about the 2 seasons of Bleach I could sit through, he's like dead. So I guess he's not in the physical world, but he can be, but he's not always. So I guess when he's in his human body, he doesn't have any powers. So I guess are we counting as mortal Ichigo, or are we counting it as Soul Reaper Ichigo? Because there's a big difference. Because Soul Reaper
Uh,
Ichigo would win. Regular person Japanese schoolboy Ichigo would not win because Joker has a gun helicopter and AK-47s and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. Joker has
it,
more
it matters a
resources
lot.
than a high school. Well, okay, all the things said was Ichigo, but for the majority of the show, it's about Ichigo, like the what is he again?
Soul
The
Reaper.
Soul Reaper. Like that's what the show is about. Is him as a Soul Reaper, not him as a high school student. Like that's only like
Well, I mean,
once in a
yeah.
while. I don't know. I
I'm just
still
trying
want
to
to
give you
say
a fighting
Ichigo.
chance, man.
I'd rather see Jared Leto lose.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
All
good.
right.
I'm
So there you go.
comfortable with
Another
this. Don't
thing you're
worry.
bad at, racing around the world. Deal with it, Jared Leto. All right. All right. So final matchup. Here we go.
Final matchup.
Let's
I
dig in
gotta pick
deep.
one. I gotta pick one. I don't know. I don't know. Harley Quinn. No, I don't want to do Harley Quinn. I just did that. I'm gonna say something with related to Disney. I'm gonna go with Tarzan. Tarzan from the animated movie.
Okay.
Yep.
My favoriteest Disney movie. All right.
Is it really?
I got my girl. Oh yeah, dude. Phil Collins crushes that soundtrack. Genesis.
Phil Collins. Dude, Phil Collins kicked ass on that soundtrack, but like, still, that's your favorite
Son
one.
of Man is probably the best or second best Disney song, perhaps behind the Making a Man song out of You from
Oh
Mulan.
yeah, Mulan.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
I really like some of the Hercules songs.
Yeah, those are
Like
okay too.
those are pretty freaking nice. Like I love that film.
Nice.
But whatever. Okay.
Anywho,
Tarzan.
yeah, I got my girl Raven from Teen Titans.
Nice.
It doesn't. I didn't actually write down which version of Teen Titans. So, do you want me to pick one before we start?
Let's just say Teen Titans, like the show Teen
Pick the
Titans.
show. Okay. That's
Unless you
easier.
want to do, unless you really
Teen
want to do
Titans
Teen
Go,
Titans
Raven.
Go.
I mean, I like that
Are
one,
you-
but no, I'm gonna use.
Is she a Pegasister?
No. I do have a shirt with her on it that says "That's So Raven," though. But
Ah, that's
I'm
nice.
pretty proud of that one. Okay,
Okay. Anyway,
sorry.
What is the
All right.
count? What is
So
the
contest
encounter?
is who makes a better ambassador for Starfleet? I mean, not
okay.
Tarzan,
Well, okay.
not
if
the
we took
wild ape man.
If we took the wild, okay, but he learned how to speak English,
He
and
sure did.
he has experience being
He put
a
on
leader.
pants.
And Raven is kind of a bitch. Like, let's
Well,
be real
yeah,
here.
that's true.
And
Not-
she would
yeah.
probably really, really hate being an ambassador. Whereas I feel like Tarzan would be like, ambassador.
You
why
do
the
kind of
fuck
have
not?
to talk to people to be an ambassador, what with the charisma
Yep.
and such, and she doesn't have much or any at
Plus,
all.
Tarzan is shown to be friendly with people he hasn't met. And
Well,
he also
more curious
really,
than-
He also really likes to bone people he doesn't understand, which is a requirement for Starfleet.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's actually really important. You do have to get it on with a lot of alien chicks if you're in Starfleet. That's important.
Yeah.
Good point, Adam.
Yeah.
Good point.
See?
Raven
See?
Raven wouldn't get it on with any alien chicks that I know of.
Raven didn't even get it on with Beast Boy, and she broke my goddamn heart.
Yeah. And he's green, like aliens. That's racism, which makes she'd be a bad ambassador. Fact.
Exactly.
100%
Fact.
confirmed canon.
Also,
Raven is a racist.
Another thing, Raven is unstable. Like, she has, like, rage issues and stuff like that. Like, where she gets all, like, four-eyed or whatever the fuck. That's a
Four-eyed.
problem for a Starfleet ambassador. Tarzan, on the other hand, is reasonably in control most of the time. There's only a few times where he gets really mad, and that's only when, like, his friends die or something. Like, other than
Or
that...
Kerchak died.
Yeah.
And then he does the
I guess.
scream thing, yeah. Or then he hangs Craven from a tree, except not really, but he kind of did.
Yeah,
Clayton. It was Clayton, not Craven.
Clayton.
That's something else.
Yeah, Clayton. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Tarzan. I think
yep,
he
me
win
too.
this.
Okay. Congrats, Tarzan.
Nice.
You're moving up in the world.
Yes! I
still
won one round.
Yeah, I still win, though.
Yeah, I know
so, haha. First episode goes to me. We're keeping it that way.
All right. Yep, you're right. So those are the complaints this week. If you can't complain, share it with your friends. Bye!